25 fascinating facts about the North Pole. The North Pole is the northernmost point on Earth, located at the center of the Arctic Ocean. The North Pole is covered by sea ice that floats on top of the Arctic Ocean, which is typically around 2 to 3 meters thick. The North Pole is also known as the geographic North Pole, as it is the point on Earth where the planet's axis of rotation intersects with its surface. The North Pole experiences 24 hours of daylight during the summer solstice in June and 24 hours of darkness during the winter solstice in December. The North Pole has no specific time zone, as all time zones converge at this point. The North Pole is not located on any continent and is not a sovereign territory of any country. The first recorded expedition to the North Pole was led by Robert Peary in 1909, although this claim is disputed. Claims have also suggested the North Pole was first discovered by Dr. Frederick Cook, an American explorer who had seemingly returned from the dead after more than a year in the Arctic, claimed to have reached the pole in April 1908, a full year before Peary. The North Pole has a magnetic North Pole that is currently located off the coast of Canada and is slowly moving towards Russia. The North Pole is home to a variety of unique wildlife, including polar bears, Arctic foxes, walruses, and various species of seals. The North Pole is also home to a number of indigenous people, including the Inuit and the Sami. The North Pole is an important part of the global climate system, with the Arctic region playing a key role in regulating the Earth's temperature and weather patterns. The North Pole is at the center of the Arctic Circle, which is an imaginary line that circles the Earth at a latitude of 66.5 degrees north. The North Pole is one of the coldest places on Earth, with temperatures that can drop below -50 degrees Celsius. The North Pole is also one of the most remote and inaccessible places on Earth, with no permanent settlements or infrastructure. The North Pole is surrounded by several countries, including Canada, Russia, Norway, Denmark, and the United States. The North Pole was first reached by air in 1926 by Roald Amundsen, Umberto Nobile, and Lincoln Ellsworth. The North Pole is an important area for scientific research, particularly in the fields of climate change, oceanography, and meteorology. The North Pole is home to the largest and most powerful icebreaker fleet in the world, which is used to maintain shipping lanes and support scientific research. The North Pole has been the subject of numerous books, films, and works of art, including the famous novel The Snow Queen by Hans Christian Andersen. The North Pole has been visited by a number of famous explorers, including Robert Peary, Roald Amundsen, and Sir Edmund Hillary. The North Pole was first crossed by land in 1968 by Ralph Plaisted, who led a team of snowmobiles on a journey from Canada to the North Pole. The North Pole is not stationary, but moves around the Arctic Ocean due to shifting sea ice and ocean currents. The North Pole is an important area for international cooperation, with several agreements in place to regulate shipping, fishing, and other activities in the Arctic region. The North Pole is a symbol of adventure, exploration, and human achievement, inspiring people around the world to push the limits of what is possible. The North Pole is a fragile and vulnerable ecosystem that is threatened by climate change, pollution, and other human activities, highlighting the urgent need for global action to protect the Arctic region and its inhabitants.